Welcome to Left On Wed.
Bite-sized tips for people getting hitched. Georgia Fletcher.
Adam Sini.
In the same room.
How did we get here?
In this part of town.
That's your favourite song at the moment, isn't it?
It is.
It's
catchy.
by Ludacris.
Is it?
Yes.
Thank you, Adam. Who are you again?
My rap name would be C-Rap.
Why is that?
Crap.
Oh.
Not very good at it. What would yours be? Georgia Fletcher.
G Dizzle.
I think it would be more like S-Hit.
That's awful.
Yeah.
We also said not to swear on the podcast.
I didn't. I spelt it out.
Yeah, but you're implying it.
You don't know what I'm implying.
Anyway, what I'm implying is that you're a celebrant.
I'm a celebrant.
I'm a celebrant.
You're a celebrant.
What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about celebrants.
Are we?
Nah. Psych. Today's topic.
Breaking down your ceremony. Not in your ceremony, but that's okay. That's
If you break down
validated.
your ceremony.
Breaking down in your ceremony
That's
is
cool.
fine.
Show your emotions a little bit.
Be vulnerable.
Be with us.
But let's break down what you do and do not, maybe not, must have, may not have in your ceremony.
We're a couple celebrants. Together we've probably done, I don't know, how many? 500 weddings or something
Let's
crazy?
do it. Lock that in.
So we're going to talk through the ceremony, how it works, what we do in a ceremony, what you do have to do by law, and what you don't have to do, and little fun bits that you can add in as well. 'Cause
Sounds good.
This is the most important part of the day. It's the tone setter for the day, and we know about them.
Strap in. We're going to get started.
Strap in, babies.
So legally, what do you need to do as a celebrant? What do I need to do as a celebrant to make sure that someone's ceremony is a legal one?
Okay, Georgia. Firstly, boring paperwork. You're going to
snooze
sign.
fest.
Oh my God, snooze fest. But we have to do it. Are you okay? Notice of intended marriage needs to be lodged at least 30 days before your wedding. Your celebrant's going to do that for you.
One
with you.
calendar month.
1 calendar month. Thank you. That is the law. Skip to the day. We're just talking about things you have to do. Celebrant. The words. It's called the monotum. How many words is it? I don't know.
I don't know the word count.
100 and something? 40?
Sure.
50?
But it can't be changed.
Can't be changed word for word. It's the only bit the celebrant has to say by law during the ceremony.
You
It's
can
that-
go to the Marriage Act if you want to.
You can. It's that beautiful bit that was changed with same-sex marriage, the union of two people to the exclusion of all others. So the celebrant says that at every single wedding to make it a legally binding ceremony. But it's not just that has to be said.
No, you have to say some legal vows yourself.
Yeah.
A solemn and binding promise to be someone's lawful wedded wife or husband.
Or partner or spouse.
Correct. And you need to have your
Yes.
full legal name in that sentence as well.
It's just one sentence.
It could be a repeat after me vibe where
Yep.
you stop and start and your celebrant feeds you what you need to say, or you can have it written down and
Yep.
you just read it however it comes out as long as it's said.
Correct. Those are the only bits you need to do by law. Then the celebrant is going to have a whole lot of paperwork for you to sign.
More paperwork.
After the marriage, during it, just then on the paperwork table, and then they register it. So that's the stuff that you have to do, right?
Yes.
And then I'm a big advocate of taking the bits that you like from weddings and then putting the other bits to the side that you don't like. The wedding should be a reflection of the couple. Your celebrant's going to come to the table with how they like to do things, how they like to structure it. But I don't know about you, I'm very flexible and we can add things if you
Flexible
have fun
pants,
ideas.
always on.
Yep.
I always like to say what you do and don't like about a wedding, and if you can adapt, mold, modify things that you love and feel that will reflect the two of you in a ceremony.
Grand.
Perfect.
Start of the ceremony, right? One party is walking in, right? Before that happens, I usually do a bit of housekeeping.
Or are both parties walking in? My wedding tomorrow.
Yep.
Groom entrance, bride entrance.
Together? Separately?
Yeah. Separately.
Lovely. My couple last week walked in together.
I love that too.
But they hadn't seen each other yet. This was really cool at the venue.
wow.
They walked from two separate doors, met at the end of the aisle, held hands, and then walked in together.
Divine.
I thought that was really cute.
Beautiful entrance. Great way to kick off the
Yeah.
ceremony.
So you walk in. Or I've also got a couple coming up at Peeloo and Freshwater where they're both going to be there before the ceremony. They're going to be mingling with guests.
I've had that too.
And then they're like, we don't want a big thing. So when it starts, I'm literally just going to go, okay, folks, we're going to start. We ask all the guests to sit down. They literally walk to the front with them all. They hold hands, and then I'm like, "Hello, everyone." and we
That's
start.
beautiful. I've had that too.
Yeah.
Also have had family walk the couple in
Yeah,
as well, parents or family leading the way.
Yep.
It's beautiful. Also have people with children that will be walked in by their children
love.
too.
Wedding
Stunning.
party, walking down the aisle. Obviously, you see a lot. Bridesmaids might walk down the aisle.
You may have also run through some housekeeping before that
Definitely.
even happens.
So housekeeping
That's
is
ways to personalize your ceremony too.
usually first. You might talk about unplugged ceremony during that, which means
What's an unplugged ceremony?
George, I'm so glad you asked. It's when you ask guests, please don't take photos during. We've got an amazing photographer. Their name is Adam Sini. It's me, and I'm doing it with my phone. No. And
There
they're
are
gonna
ways to
capture all the
say that
magic.
you're having an unplugged ceremony in a really nice way. So you work with your celebrant, workshop the wording that works for you, because I sometimes have an adaptation, an adaptation?
Yeah.
An adaptation
Love.
of an unplugged ceremony where some couples still want some ceremony photos, but then they want phones
Yeah.
away after that.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just want a selfie before partner one walks in. Partner two's already there. They all take a selfie. So there are different ways to
That's
make an
my go-to.
unplugged ceremony sound, look, and not be so classroom vibes.
Before a wedding, I'm like, get your phones out, take a selfie with the person beside you. Everyone takes a selfie. And then it's like, that's your last photo you're going to take at today's wedding. It's a great trick because everyone's got their phones in their hands. I can see your phones, turn them off. They turn them off.
Don't want to see them for the rest of the ceremony.
My wedding next week, they're like, sometimes people are like, can you be borderline aggressive with it? Because we want you to do it. So they're bringing me a Nerf gun as a joke. And then they're going to have someone bring out their phone during that bit. And I'm going to shoot them with the Nerf gun. And then
Genius.
say, if anyone brings it out, and they want me to do it, they're like, if anyone brings their phones out, you can shoot them.
Real life role play.
So I'm actually going to shoot them.
I love it.
during
I hope
the
your
wedding.
aim is okay.
But that's the sort of thing that you can add. When the couple told me, oh, can you bring a Nerf gun and can you shoot people during?
Do you need one? I have one at
No,
home.
they have one.
Oh,
They have one.
amazing. BYO.
I almost lost my. I was like, this is why I live. This is what I would like to do.
Yes,
This
and
makes
every
my
way of
day.
doing housekeeping and ceremonies is always so different depending on the
Legit.
couple. So we've got our housekeeping. Other items might be what you want guests to do afterwards. Maybe there's petals to throw in the air,
Yeah.
not at the
Yeah.
couple. Lots of naggy old housekeeping, blah, blah,
It's also
blah.
for me. It's the point where I like to connect with the guests as well. So it's
that's
looking
nice
with them.
too.
I ask them to clap, cheer, have some fun. It's going to be a cool ceremony. Don't be weird.
Don't be weird.
Basically, get
Just let
into
you
it
be
as
the
much
weird
as you
one.
want. Let me be the weird one, and you
Just
don't.
for once.
Just for
one
once in my
time.
life, I want to be weird. But it's a bit of an energy setter. We get them pumped up, and then boom, they walk down the aisle.
Amazing. We've done our housekeeping. We've got our entrance. What happens after that?
I usually start with a nice little opening. I like to thank everyone that's coming for being there. Give them a good shout out. Sometimes some people are like, can you then give a shout out to people who have traveled from far or those who have passed away? We can give a little nod to. World's your oyster there.
Yes, and you could do a ritual where you light a candle.
Great.
Personally, I think it will depend on the venue because if it blows out in the middle of the ceremony, that's
bad.
not very nice.
That's a bad.
But also some ceremonies or some venues won't allow open flame. So you need to work with your venue, work with what's going to be relevant for you. Sometimes wording is enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's enough. You don't need to light a candle, but that's a ritual that you may or may not leave.
And then
There.
next thing, for most celebrants, that storytelling item is a big part
Yeah.
of what we do. So I know we both like to do the story.
We tell a love story, take a walk down love memory lane, tell the tale of how
Shoot.
these two people came to be standing here today.
Right? Oh, I like that.
Yes, it's exactly how I open.
Is that? Oh, legit. There you go. Yeah, so we'd like to tell their story. What the
do.
road that got them there, bit of a reminisce. It can be funny. It can be silly. I like to use this bit of the ceremony to disarm the couple a little bit. And
Loosey-goosey.
Yeah, let them have a little bit of fun. I usually tell them, like, this is the bit, it doesn't really matter. So have fun, laugh, clap, whatever you want to do for the guests as well. And hopefully that loosens them up when they start hitting their vows. And
Do you
that
need a
sort of
love
thing.
story?
What do you mean?
Well, what if a couple says, Adam, we don't really want that kind of attention?
No,
I've had
that's
that
not.
before.
No, you don't need to do that at all.
We can still make it really personal in other ways. You may want to focus on writing some really great personal vows
Yep.
instead, and you may want to incorporate parts of your story into your vows.
Yep. And that's something I look for as well. If they have written that in their vows, I will not put it in the ceremony.
Yes, very fine
beforehand.
line between repetition and consistency.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I also leave a lot of room in my ceremonies to improvise, which is sometimes
It is your
terrifying.
gift. You have the gift of the gab.
So yeah, I like to have a little bit of fun in that bit. That's your story. We can get into it. Do your thing. I send a couple a questionnaire each. Do you do the same?
No, I actually send them together and I say
Hey.
you can do it separately or you can do it together.
Brilliant.
I also like to encourage that as a bit of a date night if they want to, or maybe they're morning people and they want to power through it together. It really depends.
See,
Every
yours-
celebrant works
Yeah,
differently.
yours lends to date night. I got an email before saying, "Hi Adam, we haven't done our questionnaires. We've set aside time tonight to sit in opposite ends of the apartment and do them separately," which is a lovely date night. Bats to each other, just giving Adam details.
It really depends on the couple. If they want to do it together, they can. If they want to do it separately,
Yeah.
that also depends
De-
on the other celebrant's workflow and process
Detail
too.
is good as well. People are like,
Oh.
"Oh, you don't find this interesting?" It's like, no, I will tell you what I find interesting. People are like, "Oh, you wouldn't find interesting that we had our first date at Hooters?" No, I do find that interesting that you had your first date at Hooters. That needs to be in the ceremony.
Stop using your hand.
Oh, sorry. You know what I mean. We need to talk about that.
I know. I had a couple. Actually, I had two couples this week finish their ceremony, love story quiz, whatever I want to call it. One, so much detail, like OTT on the information. I had so much to work with, so much I could cut, so much I could bring back to allow for the flow. And then I had a couple email going, "I'm sorry, we've realized that we are so boring."
Oh, not
And
boring.
I said, "Don't worry, that's my job
We
to
can
make
spin
it
a yarn.
not sound boring.
We can spin a yarn. We can
Yeah.
talk. We can have fun. We can chat.
Let me fluff it up."
Exactly.
So after the love story is done, we're doing some vows. What else can we include?
So let's say the celebrant does that story bit. Here is when if the couple want to do a reading, I might chuck that in there, or if they might have someone come and talk. Reading can be what the world is your oyster with
Please
what that
choose
is.
the reading before you choose the person, so the person is more connected and passionate about what's being read.
We had Andrew's grandma read Eminem,
rap. That
Lose
was
Yourself.
Amazing. We've talked about this.
Yeah, so it can be silly.
love
I wouldn't
it.
say don't force a reading for the sake of it. If my couples don't do them, so I wouldn't force it.
Yeah.
And then that's the bit where I usually ask the couple to turn, take each other's hands, face each other.
Oh, how intimate. And
Oh my
beautiful.
God. I get in between them. Oh, wow. And then we
Talk about Hooters.
talk about Hooters for a bit.
Do you do some rings?
I do the vows here.
Yes, you do the vows there.
So legal vow, and then they might write some vows, which is lovely. We'll talk about that in a later episode. You might do a ring exchange. My couple last week exchanged ring pops, lolly rings.
Love it. I've had couples exchange watches because they needed a
That's
new
lovely.
accessory.
And how about my couple on last Sunday already was wearing their rings? They've been wearing them.
Yes, I've had that too.
So they literally took their rings off and then gave it to exchange them and then put it back on.
I've had a groom go to
Yeah.
a tattoo shop the day before,
I love that.
get tattooed the day
That's
before.
sick.
It was really cool.
Yeah. So you don't have to do a ring exchange. Again, it's one of those things. Most couples do it, but it's like take the traditions you like and throw the other ones to the side.
Here's a question. How do the couple get the rings? How are they brought up to them in the
Oh,
ceremony?
right. I was like, how do they get them? They go to a jeweler, they get a fitting. Someone can bring them forward.
Nice moment to bring parents in,
Lovely.
grandparents. That's
Yeah.
really lovely. Depending on, I always ask couples to think about how easy it's going to be to get your boxes of rings and whether it's in one box or two.
Yeah.
So if the groomsman's got them or someone in the bridal party has them, 2 slits, 1 box.
Yeah.
Both rings in the 1 box.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Yeah.
No bulky pockets.
And usually it's open the box and let the couple take the rings out. Don't touch them.
Get the ring you're giving.
Yeah. And don't drop them.
If you overthink it, that's what will happen.
Yeah.
Allow the celebrant to guide you. It's okay. You don't have to completely micromanage that whole moment of the ceremony. The celebrant is there to guide the
And
people involved.
Sometimes it's worth noting that things go wrong during weddings and it doesn't matter. It's,
Do you know what's funny?
Yeah.
When the groomsmen make a joke that they've lost the ring.
I haven't seen that one before.
Haven't you?
No, crazy.
Yeah, I rarely see it.
Doesn't happen every wedding.
Nah, but it happens most weddings.
Yeah.
And I even say, have you got your performance ready? What have you got?
I reckon if they're a great ring bearer, I make them take a bow. Wow, you did that so well. You had best
Yes,
rings. Well
I
done.
sometimes ask for an applause if they've done a really great job.
I recently had a wedding where they forgot the rings. The groomsmen didn't have them.
Oh.
So I just asked a couple in the the guests to take their rings off, bring them up, and they exchange those rings, which was actually a really
whatever
lovely
works.
moment
My
as well.
cousin did that.
Yeah.
It was very funny. And it was how the celebrant responded that set the tone for making that moment a funny and memorable one rather than a serious and oopsie-daisy moment.
I live for things going wrong. Well, not wrong, for things going a different way than they're supposed to.
Yes, because your improv is genius.
But not just about that. I think it creates moments, right?
It does. It's what you remember.
I also had recently, we taped the rings under a guest's chair.
Risky.
Yeah. And we did it as like an Oprah moment. Everyone look under your chair. Someone here is going to be our ring bearer.
I have done that
And they
for
loved
different
it.
parts of the ceremony, not the rings.
Yes.
But that's amazing.
Yeah. So rings happens. Also saying all this, any of this can be changed except for that legal wording, the structure, how it's said. It doesn't have to be, you might have been to weddings where those bits can be a little bit corny or cheesy. It doesn't have to be said in that way. It can be personalized to be about you, whether that's fun and silly or more romantic and warm. Whatever your vibe is, your celebrant's going to be looking to sort of personalize these bits to be like you.
And this sounds like there's a lot, but usually ceremonies don't need to go for as long as it may sound, as we're talking about all these ideas, examples and things to include and to exclude.
We're up to this point, we're probably talking, we're in our 20th minute of the ceremony.
20 minutes is a great time.
Yeah, I'm usually aiming for 20 to 25 minutes for
We
a
like
wedding.
quality over quantity.
That's it. We want our guests to have fun. We want them to be engaged, entertained, into it. And then we want to spin them around in a circle and say, there's your drinks, have fun.
Amazing. So
Here's
we've done the
something
ring
to talk
exchange.
about.
What happens after that?
Ring exchange happens. Celebrant walks to the side.
Please.
Because you're about to kiss and we don't want to be in the middle of the photo like a freak. Your photographer will kill us.
Yes.
You might be pronounced as married. You may give each other a smooch.
Do it again. Do the money shot. Kiss as many times as you want.
No tongue.
No tongue.
Practice at home.
It may
Practice
feel nice
kissing at home.
to want to use tongue, but when you look at
It
the
does
photo,
feel nice to use tongue.
never looks good. The photo with the tongue kiss never looks great.
The photo of the guests when a tongue kiss happens is fun though.
Oh, that's funny.
The dear
Photographer
God.
likely won't flip the camera.
If you're
because
gonna do
that's
a
your
dip,
first kiss moment.
practice
the
it.
dip, knee out.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Knee out, use tongue. So that happens.
The exit. Then it's party time.
Signing.
Oh, we forgot that.
So this
We
is a
would
legal
never
requirement
forget.
and we would never forget to do it. Your signing usually happens at this bit. So you've done everything. We kiss and then the celebrant go, folks, bear with us just for 2 minutes. We're going to go sign some paperwork. May I please have the following two people? You're our witnesses.
Or we play Witness Lotto.
I knew you were going to say it.
I'm playing it tomorrow.
Are you?
I'm so excited. Yes, this couple are Harry Potter fans, so I've got a witch's hat. So we're going to pull them out of a witch's
Are
hat.
you serious? That's so funny.
Yes, so good. I always go to my costume collection.
That's hilarious. So witness bingo is...
Where the couple send you a list of guests that you would like or have included as witnesses. You pull their names out of a hat. They must be over the age of 18, were present for the ceremony, can read and understand English. 2 people, 1 each, doesn't matter who.
Yep.
If you don't play Witness Lotto, it could be people in your wedding party. It could be your parents. It could be grandparents. It could be friends that you were witnesses for. But again, you don't have to do that.
No.
But those are some options.
Witness Lotto is great because you're like, folks, we couldn't decide between all of you. We put your names in a hat. Great icebreaker. Everyone goes, what? You guys are crazy. And you take it out of the name out of the hat. And then you've surprised someone and it's beautiful.
It's amazing.
We did trivia for our witnesses.
Genius.
So we did trivia about Ange and I. Everyone played. And the 2 winners who knew us the best were our official witnesses
I
on our
love
marriage
it.
certificates.
Sign, seal, and deliver.
So there's a plethora of ways you can add little games and have fun with it in your ceremony.
So before we exit and do party time, we sign on the dotted line.
Sign the dotted line. Music plays. Your celebrant might play a song on your PA, or your musicians will play
I
to
think
fill
we've done
that
a whole
spot.
episode on that.
We have.
Music.
Drinks might be handed out. Confetti is handed out here. If you're doing confetti, hand it out here.
Signing.
Don't hand it out at the start because then people hold it for the entire wedding.
Also, there are other reasons too. Sometimes your stylist or your florist may set it up at the beginning with a welcome sign. That's lovely for the money shot. From a logistics and practical point of view, if you can hide it under a chair or under the signing table, get it to be handed out during the signing, again, means people aren't playing with it. Also means they're not putting it on the ground. It means the wind's not blowing it out. I've had it where it's been looped onto the back of chairs. Someone sat down without looking. And it's just not going to work. If you can do that in the signing, it means the people in the aisle get it too.
Yes.
No point in having confetti and petals if the people on the outside are getting it.
Fab. We bring them back to the middle.
We do.
Hype them up a little bit, guests.
Grab that bouquet back in case you
Get it
put
back.
it down.
We get introduced for the first time as
Mr. and Mrs., Mr. and Mr., Mrs. and Mrs. The newlyweds.
the Smiths, Jacob and Rachel.
Australia's brand new
You
married
can
couple.
You can be referred to whatever way that you want here. Big song plays. Choose a song for the moment.
And it has to be an absolute banger from the first 15 seconds. No one's listening after that.
We did
Don't
Music
do a
Sounds
long
Better
winded
with
intro.
You. Boom, boom, boom,
Oh,
boom,
that's
boom.
a good one. Lots of people do Everlasting Love too. This will be.
This will be.
That's
yeah.
very popular. Signed, sealed, and delivered by Stevie
A
Wonder.
lot. And then you walk out, you walk to the back, hugs and kisses start. You might get your wedding party out there, your parents, and then everyone is sort of pushed to have that time to say hi, give you cuddles and kisses straight away.
That's your
before
ceremony.
you're taken away for photos. That's your ceremony.
Isn't
and
it
as we
great?
said, that's how, a ceremony might run, but there's only those couple of legal bits you have to do. You don't have to do that, especially for a different style of ceremony. If you're doing an elopement, if you're doing a legals only, they're all different types of ceremonies.
Surprise wedding.
Yeah, so those would
Different
be
vibe.
run differently. This is more for a bigger style wedding, maybe 100 guests. That's how
For
you
the
might
most
do it.
popular package.
Yes,
It
dog.
may run like that.
I did an elopement the other day
Did you?
on the rocks at Clovelly.
Oh, stunning.
It was beautiful.
It would be.
And they did want me to tell their story, so I did write some dot points. But I sort of, instead of saying blow by blow, this is what happened, we sort of went through it and made it more of a bantery discussion between everyone. So I was like, and then your first date was
Yes.
down at, and then they sort of filled in the pieces. That I remember the sister goes, oh yeah, and then I remember he called me that day and she started telling the story. We kind of made it more of a bantery, warm conversation rather than more of that sort of style.
So if
it's
you're
different.
listening to this and you know that you're having a ceremony, reception, a very traditional or what to expect, I suppose, of what a wedding will look and feel like, that is what would be included, possibly some of the elements. But if you are doing a micro ceremony or an elopement and you've only got a few selection of family and friends there, I find that most of them know their story. So it could be about incorporating, well, what's the next
Yep.
chapter in your lives going to look and
Yep.
feel like? So those packages may look different for the couple. And if you're having a straighty 180 specific, predictable wedding, those are some of the things we might consider.
Defs, but talk to your celly. Hire a celebrant that
Talk
you
to your
vibe with.
celebrant.
It should be us.
Please.
But there could be others. I haven't heard of them, but I hear there
Who
are
are
other
they?
celebrants.
Like thousands.
Not sure about them. I know the top two. They have a podcast called, what's that podcast called? Left on Wed. And they're fantastic.
They are.
But there's others.
Yeah, there are definitely others that
But-
are in the top two.
There are, I don't know about that. There's others. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
You could go to One Fine Day and have a look at
No,
some
don't do that. God, you've hit the jackpot. You've hit the jackpot here.
What am I saying? Absolutely book us.
Thank you, Georgia, for God's sake. You're here.
Poking some fun.
Georgia,
Yes.
let's do it next week because I have some things that I want to say. to
More?
you. Yeah.
Exploding. I can see it coming out of your ears.
Oh, no, that's earwax.
Your eyes?
That's tears.
Nose?
That's snot. You don't want to know what's coming out of my mouth. Rhymes, baby. Thanks for listening.
Well
but
done, C-Rap.
just...
You did it.
S hit. Love you, baby.
See you.
See ya. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening.
We really appreciate you. And if you want to hear and see more, follow us on the socials. We are at Left on Wed Podcast on TikTok, on YouTube. There are full video episodes and on Instagram.
There sure are. If you've got questions, you've got comments, ideas for topics,
Yeah.
slide on into the DMs. But you can also inquire about our celebrant services by finding Adam on Instagram and TikTok at Married by Adam.
That's me.
You can find me at Georgia Fletcher Celebrant.
And if you are itching to tell people about this, please do. But you can leave us a review on whatever platform you listen on. Tell people how much you love it. 5 stars only.
Thank you. That's all we will accept. We'll see you next time.
Left on Wed is recorded on the lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. We pay respects to the elders past and present.
We, Adam and Georgia, acknowledge our First Nations people's continuous connection to culture and the importance of storytelling.